Hey guys, it's Just Meechyy and welcome back to my channel. So this kind of looks different because my camera wanted to act up today and it's not recording videos, so I'm recording this on my phone, so please bear with me while I have a stern talking to with my camera. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you are a returning subscriber, what's up? How you doing? How's it going? How's life? You good? You good? Okay, fantastic, great, amazing. So today I wanted to talk about the topic of friendships, and I watched a video by Lisa Mapsey talking about friendships and like toxic friendships and stuff like that, and she made so many good points in the video, and I had a few points of my own that I wanted to discuss, so I said let me make a video about it. Friendships are something that are very important to me. Like when I make you my friend, when I confirm that you, me, we're friends, we're buddies now, it is something that I hold very dearly to my heart, and it is something that I take very seriously. Literally, when I was younger, my mum used to tell me off so much about friends because I used to get hurt so much by friends. She'd be like, you care about friends too much. You care about friends too much. But now I've learned the error of my ways. I've changed. But yeah, friends are really important to me. So I wanted to talk about the topic of sometimes it's not them, it's you. I feel like as a people, like as a generation, we're not very self-reflective. We don't like to look inwards at the things that we have done to cause problems in our lives, and we like to dish out blame to other people. We like to dish out blame to things, to situations, just to anybody else except ourselves. And that can cause a lot of trouble in our life. And don't get me wrong, it's a human thing, it's natural, it's what everybody does. But being self-reflective and just looking inwards towards yourself is a skill that is very necessary and very useful to have in this day and age. Ooh, lighting change. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to just talk about how, like, sometimes in a situation, in friendships, you need to realize that you may be the cause of your own problems. You may be the cause of your own problems. For example, I'm the type of person that since I was young, I've always wanted to have a friendship group like they have in the movies, in the TV shows, you know, where like, oh, you call your friend and you're crying, like, oh, some boys broke your heart, and then your friend's like, don't worry, I'm on it, and she's round your house with popcorn and ice cream and all this kind of stuff, and you're talking about it, and then she sleeps over, and all of this kind of stuff, all of this kind of, like, not unrealistic stuff, but it was a bit far-fetched. So I used to want a friendship group like that, like, oh, I can call over at any time of the night and you rush to my aid, and we'll have a little chin wag and talk about it and cry on each other's shoulder, and then, like, everything will be happy and unicorns and princesses and all this kind of stuff. And I always used to wonder why I never had that sort of friendship group. Like, I never had that kind of experience in my life. I prayed this prayer to God, basically, because, you know, if you're a Christian as well, you know that there's a lot of times where bad stuff happens in our life, and then we blame God for it. So, like, something bad has happened now, and we're like, oh God, why did you allow this to happen to me? Why did you allow that to happen to me? Why didn't you let this work out for me? Why didn't you let me be able to do this, that I plan to do? And we don't realize that it's us. We're the cause of the problem, not God, not anybody else, but us. So I prayed this prayer to God that He would let me see the error of my ways in situations, like when I do stuff wrong or when I cause something to happen to myself. that he would let me see where I've gone wrong. And when I prayed that prayer, let me tell you, as God is a prayer answering God, he's a prayer answering God, he really answered that prayer for me, and he was really showing me areas that I would go wrong in certain situations. So I'd be like, oh God, why did this happen to me? Why didn't you let this work for me? And then it would just drop into my spirit something that I said or something that I did, or somehow that I blocked my own opportunity basically. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's fine. So it was basically all my fault. That's fantastic. I love that. That's great to hear. And I started realizing that in my friendships as well. So like I said, I wanted all these types of friendships where, you know in the movies where like, oh, there's that one friend that your whole family knows and they practically live at your house and they just come over uninvited, they just come over whenever they want, they come, they sleep round, they do whatever they like and they leave, da 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 da. Remember, that's what I said I wanted, right? So I remember I had this friend that like would basically do that. Like, she would come over uninvited, like wouldn't text me or inform me beforehand, and I like didn't personally invite them round, and they would just show up at my door and then tell me like when they're at my door that they're here, and I'm like, oh hi, here. I used to be thinking like, what's going on? I don't remember. Did I invite you by mistake? Like, did I tell you that I was home? Like, what the hell's going on? And yeah, it just wasn't enjoyable for me. I didn't really enjoy it, because for me, I like alone time. I like being alone. I'm gonna admit it. It took a long time for me to actually admit this about myself, but I like being alone. I like being by myself. I like my own space. I like having time to think and rejuvenate and just like process things. I like being by myself. So when people invade that personal bubble or that personal space that I've created for myself, it's kind of like, what? Child, baby, what is you doing? Like, what is you doing? And I didn't invite you in my space, so why are you in my space? Baby girl, baby boy, what's going on? And yeah, I would just like not really enjoy it. So I wouldn't really encourage that kind of behavior. I'd kind of be like, hi, like, okay, what are you doing here? And I'm the type of person as well that I used to suffer a lot with FOMO. I used to hate missing out on events. I used to hate missing out on, like, just when my friends were going out and stuff and I'd be watching on Snapchat, I'd be like, oh, I wish I was there, I wish I did this, or I wish they invited me, or people didn't invite me, why didn't they invite me, da 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 da. However, when they invited me, did I go? No. Answer me now, Michelle. When they invited you, did you go? And when you did go, did you enjoy yourself? Did you enjoy yourself? Is the question. No. And then, like, I just basically wouldn't encourage people to really, like, invite me to places because I didn't want to go. And sometimes if I did go, I didn't really enjoy myself. But then, when I didn't get invited or I was sitting at home, like, I'd be getting upset. Like, how does that work? How does that work? So I think we need to recognize our own wrongs in friendships, and something that Lisa was saying was that miscommunication is the downfall to a lot of friendships and relationships in general. Like, relationships do not just span to boyfriend and girlfriend. Relationships are a friend. Relationships are between you and your boss. That is a relationship. That's an employee-employer relationship. Between your mother and yourself, that's a mother-child relationship. Like, there's so many relationships that we have in life, and miscommunication is usually the downfall to each relationship, because somebody has a preconceived perception of what they think that this person has said, and that other person has a preconceived conception of what they think you said. Instead of actually listening to what each person is saying, people don't listen to each other, and then they take what they think that that person means and run with it. And if they get upset with it, they like to cut things off, and we have this cancel culture where this person's cancelled, this person's cut off, I don't need this person, I can do this alone, da 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 da. And something that like the Holy Spirit dropped in my spirit before I even made this video is like, there's a verse that says, a real friend sticks closer than a brother. Friendships are not something that are disposable. Friendships are not something that should be easily destroyed, if you get what I mean. This person shouldn't be able to upset you and then you're like, yeah, whatever, I don't care about them anyway, cut them off. Don't get me wrong, there are times and seasons for friendships, and there are expiry dates for friendships. And also, if somebody is mentally exhausting you or physically exhausting you, you can love that person from afar. You can definitely love that person from afar. I'm not saying force them to be in your life by force, because God said you must be friends with this person, you must love everybody, but it shouldn't be something that is so easily disposable, if you know what I mean. So when you have a friendship, like me particularly, if I have a friendship, I'm gonna try and work on it until, you know, I know, okay, this thing ain't working no more, we're not supposed to be in each other's lives anymore, our season and our time together has ended and it has expired, so bye, I wish you good luck, but I'll see you later. But until it reaches that point, I'm going to try and work on it the hardest I possibly can. And even me, don't get me wrong, I got sucked up into this, oh yeah, if you upset me once or upset me twice, like, everything lock off, like, I'm not going to do this anymore, I can't waste my time or waste my energy. But if you know that God has placed this person in your life for a reason, there's no reason to let petty arguments and petty situations that can easily be resolved by communication stop you guys from being friends. God created us as human beings to live in communion with one another, to live in fellowship with one another. God created us to be together. He did not create humans to be alone, to live alone. There'd be no point of life if we were doing it by ourselves. Imagine if you were the only human being on the planet, there'd be nothing to do. There'd be no point of being alive if there was no one else alive. There'd be no purpose in it. We are alive to love each other, to fellowship with each other, to help each other grow and expand. And we can't do things alone. Like, this generation loves to be like, oh yeah, I made it on my own, I did it on my own with nobody's help, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't though. You didn't. Somebody helped you along the way, whether they were close to you or they weren't close to you, or somebody sent someone to just randomly be a blessing to you. Somebody helped you along the way, somebody helped you get to where you are, and somebody's helping you sustain where you are right now. And that is the reason why God created friends. Like, it's biblical, it's something that God created for us to enjoy. And with anything worth having in this life, it takes work, it takes diligence, it takes determination, it takes work, you know, it takes time, it takes effort. But a lot of us don't want to put the effort in, we don't want to try, and we just want it to flourish and be beautiful and be amazing just like that. And just like with anything else, just like with a job, just like with maintaining a house, maintaining a certain type of lifestyle, it takes work. And basically the message in this video is that a lot of us need to stop putting the blame on third parties and look at ourselves, look at your behavior, look at what you've done to contribute to the situation that has happened. So like, if you've had an argument with a friend and you believe that they're in the wrong, analyze what you've said, analyze what you've done, analyze your body language, your behavior towards this person, and think about what you could have done differently and how you could have avoided that situation as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's always like your fault. Sometimes it is the other person's fault, but also you have a role and a responsibility in going to that person and explaining your grievances, explaining how you feel, giving them an opportunity to actually understand and know how you feel, and giving them an opportunity to explain themselves and actually sort out the situation. Sometimes it's not the other person, sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's you, and we're so self-involved with ourselves that we don't even realize and understand our own behavior and how we contribute to situations. So just make sure in every situation, not just friendships, but like relationships with people around you, relationships with family, relationships with colleagues and employers, and just people you meet in your everyday life. Try and be self-reflective. Try and look inwardly and think about your behavior as well, and take responsibility for that. It doesn't take nothing, it doesn't take no skin off your back to be like, I'm sorry for what I did. I didn't mean it in the way that you perceive it to be. I didn't intend it to be like that. I apologize. Let's move on. You didn't die. You didn't die. Did you die? Did you die? You didn't die. You didn't. Self reflection is key. Like, sometimes it's not them, sometimes it's you, baby. Sometimes you wondering why people always relate to you in a certain way, or people always talk to you in a certain way. Look at yourself and think, what did I do to make them actually do this? What did I say to make them do this to me? And change it. And if not, communicate it and let it be known so that the other person can change their ways as well. But yeah, this is meant to just be a short, sweet, cute video on friendships. Friends literally are such an important and amazing addition to your life. Like, literally they can make or break you. And when friends are good, they are good. They are sweet. Mwah. That was so fresh. Oh my god. Just make sure you put in the effort to keep up those good friendships, because it's not always on the other person's part. Sometimes it takes effort on your part too. So just make sure that you're doing your part as well to keep up the friendship. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this little chit chat advice video. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Make sure, guys, I need to tell you, make sure that you click on the post notifications, please, because it lets you know when I upload. And we all know that nobody knows when Michelle will upload. Nobody knows. Even me, myself, I don't know when I'll upload. So it will help you and it will help me. The same time you find out that I've uploaded, it's the same time I find out. So do both of us a favor and click the post notifications so that you know when I upload, so you never miss a video of mine. Yeah, make sure you leave video ideas below, what you'd like to see from me, and make sure you follow me on Twitter, on Snapchat, on Instagram, and subscribe. Love you guys. Remember, you're blessed and highly favored.